Why restrictive diets do not work long term. If you would like to know my opinion, this is the video for you. Keep watching. Now, despite all the celebrities that promote the keto diet, your friend who is convinced Whole30 changed her life, or that yoga classmate that insists juice cleanses clear her of all the toxins, here's a newsflash for you. Restrictive diets don't actually work. Now sure, we all know that person that obsesses over green juice and gets excited to eat kale for dinner every night. But for most of us, restrictive diets don't actually make us any healthier, and they could actually be harmful. First, there's the narrative that we all know and assume is correct. Weighing less means someone is healthier. Now that is just not true. I have many clients that are outside the ideal BMI, but they're exercising regularly, they're moving their bodies, they sometimes eat cookies, but they also eat their vegetables. And by my standards, they are healthy. I also have clients that, thanks to genetics, have much faster metabolisms, have smaller bodies, and typically don't enjoy a wide variety of food, and the foods they often opt for are not nutritious at all. Now, weight and what you eat certainly play a role in health, that is not what I'm saying, but they are not the whole picture. The quality of the food you eat, your social relationships, your hobbies, your religion, your work-life balance, and many other things factor into how healthy you are overall. Now, what is the nutritional cost of dieting? Adhering to a strict diet can mean depriving yourself of nutrients your body needs, which certainly is not good for your overall health. The idea of not eating something like carbs because they are bad is just ridiculous. Your brain runs on glucose, which comes from carbohydrates. If you are moving, you need carbs. There is no goodness or evil to them. And I've made videos regarding the psychological issues that result from perceiving foods as either good or bad. Huge issue. Dieting is also going against the way your body is wired, and its primary goal is to maintain your weight. This trait evolved in humans from a long time ago, when food was scarce and took a fair amount of effort to acquire. Hence why maintaining a diet is so damn hard. You're fighting nature effectively when you are cutting out foods that your body craves. You're setting yourself up for failure is what you're doing. If you're told not to eat things that you like, maybe for the first few days you can resist them, but then your brain will take over and you will start to want what you cannot have. And while it is true that for some people losing weight can promote health, going on a diet to shed kilograms probably isn't going to work. Even people partaking in well-known diets see dramatically different results in terms of weight, as proven in a study from 2018 that pitted low-fat diets against low-carb diets. Ultimately, neither significantly contributed to weight loss, and many people in both groups actually gained weight. The study also found that the most effective way to lose weight was to limit, not completely omit, foods that typically contribute to health problems. These foods include things like added sugar and emulsifiers. Now, what is the psychological toll of dieting and diet culture? Aside from taking a toll on someone's nutritional health, I've seen diets take a toll on the mental health of clients as well. Dieting is stressful. You're constantly fighting yourself and denying yourself things that your brain and body want. You're expecting a quick fix to work and to get where you want to be. But since it most likely won't, you'll have to deal with the disappointment. This mentality connects weight loss with your sense of self-worth. This is an issue. If you see your weight as something you need to fix about yourself and think of not sticking to a diet as personal failure, that is an unhealthy place to be mentally. I think as a coach, I'm doing a disservice to people by just looking at the number on the scale and not looking at the whole picture. Thinking this way often extends to individual food items themselves. Desserts and burgers are considered bad, and salads and fruits are considered good. No food is going to make you a better or worse person. That is what needs to be understood. And I find it very upsetting that there are individuals that think that food does not have a moral value. This is a huge issue and it really does upset me. Now, of course, if you sit around all day only eating cake, that is not ideal for you. But alternatively, you could sit around all day eating nothing but broccoli, and that's not great for you either. The ultimate goal is to cultivate a healthy relationship with food. That is what needs to occur, where you value it as fuel and you value the way it makes you feel. For some people, this might be a diet, but for others, not so much. You cannot universally tell everyone, this is how you're supposed to eat. It does not work like that. I say it literally every day. The best diet, the best approach, the best method is the method best suited to you. And to lose weight and keep it off, you have to follow a particular method to some degree forever. And to have a hope of doing so, you need to enjoy that particular method, that particular diet, and you can't perceive it as at the cost of your livelihood or your happiness, because you are simply not going to stick to it. You are not going to be able to sustain that. Anything that isn't sustainable is not a long-term solution, and there is no short-term solution to a long-term problem. There are foods you love, there are foods you hate. There are foods that remind you of your childhood or your family. All these different aspects of food should matter and should be factored into your personal relationship with eating. Now, what are my tips? If you want to change the way you eat, consult with an expert. This could mean scheduling a visit to the doctor or even speaking to a dietitian or a professional. Though doctors and nurses can certainly help you come up with an approach that fits your life, a dietitian or coach will be able to delve more deeply into your wants and needs and help you better identify the method best suited to you. Now, there are several ways to put more thought in what you eat and what you put into your body. You can start by paying attention to what you eat instead of shifting your focus to the TV or your phone. And this can also stop you eating when you are genuinely full, not just when your plate is empty. Paying attention to your hunger cues is important throughout the day as well, not just during a meal. If you feel like eating, take a moment and ask yourself why. Are you actually hungry or are you just bored? And again, this is also something I've made a video on previously, but of course, you've watched that already. Do you need a little fuel before you launch into that big project at work, or are you just stressed and want to eat your feelings? You could keep a food diary. If you want a better idea of what you're actually putting in great detail, consider tracking everything using an app like MyFitnessPal. It takes a little more effort and a little more dedication, but having a sound understanding as to the amount of calories in what you eat day to day, and better understanding as to how many calories you need to eat to address your fitness-oriented ambitions is, in my opinion, the most efficient way of going about things. Now, if you are one of the many people that have been told by a medical professional that you need to lose weight, instead of just letting the conversation end there, ask them what specifically they recommend. I believe that just being told they need to lose weight sets them up for failure. Now, the statement normally comes from a place of good intent. Your doctor is looking after your health, is what they are doing. But they may not realize that hearing those words alone is actually quite unhelpful. So be your own advocate. Practice forgiveness. Instead of falling back on the tired concept that certain foods are bad and certain foods are good, focus on what makes you feel good when you eat it and on providing your body with adequate fuel. And recognize that if you do slip up from time to time, it is not a moral failure and you do not deserve to beat yourself up because of it. There will be some nights where you have a piece of cake for dinner. That doesn't necessarily mean you have to only eat vegetables the next day. And having a sound understanding as to how much you need to eat day to day to address your ambitions is going to give you a better understanding as to what you actually need to cut out or do to accommodate regarding the cake that you had that wasn't otherwise accounted for. And if you aren't interested in tracking calories yourself and you find it overwhelming, I highly recommend you reach out to a coach that understands the best method is the method best suited to you and is willing to accommodate regarding your preferences and lifestyle to tailor a program well suited to you that you can actually stick to. Thank you for watching. I hope you found this video useful.